Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is Monday, and for dinner tonight I am making a Filipino dish. It is called ginisang sayote, which is basically sauteed sayote. Well, it's chayote, but we pronounce it sayote, so it's the same thing. So here's the sayote. I had 4 that I peeled and cut into bite-sized pieces. I have a pound of shrimp that has already been deveined, peeled and deveined. I have 1 large tomato, half of an onion, and 3 cloves of garlic. And then I also have some fish sauce. So I'm starting with the onions. I'm gonna saute this for a minute or 2, and then I will add the garlic, let that go for a minute or 2, and then add the tomatoes. So I'm gonna let this cook until the tomatoes get nice and soft. Now that the tomatoes are nice and soft, I'm going to add in the shrimp. And the shrimp cooks pretty quickly. Once the shrimp is cooked, I'm going to add a little bit of fish sauce. I'm going to add a little bit at first, and then I can add more later. Now that the shrimp is cooked, I already added a little bit of fish sauce. I'm going to add in the sayote, and then just let it cook until it's nice and soft, and then I will recheck the seasoning later. Alright you guys, that's it. It's cooked. It's really easy. I did add just a little bit more fish sauce. You can eat this with rice. You can also eat this with fried fish, or you can just eat it by itself. So that is our dinner for Monday night. Today is Tuesday, and for dinner tonight I am making chicken adobo. So I'm starting this a few hours ahead of time so that I can have time to marinate the chicken. You don't really have to marinate the chicken, but I do like marinating it. It'll taste a little bit better if you marinate. So anyways, I have some chicken wings here, and then I have vinegar and soy sauce. These are both Filipino brands. And then some whole black peppercorn, and I have a ton of garlic here that I minced up. So I'm gonna add the garlic into the bowl of chicken, and also some whole black peppercorns. And then I will add 2 tablespoons of vinegar and 5 tablespoons of soy sauce. So here's the chicken with everything in there. I'm going to let this marinate in the refrigerator just for a couple of hours. So now I have the chicken in the pan with just a little bit of oil. I'm just gonna fry it for just a couple of minutes. We're not gonna get it crispy or anything like that, just for a couple of minutes. So now I am going to add the marinade into the pan. And once you add the marinade back into the pan, you don't want to mix it or stir it or anything. Do not touch it. Just let it cook for about like 5 minutes or so. So it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to add 2 cups of water. And then now you're just going to put the lid on and let it cook. So here is our chicken adobo. We have rice, chicken, and some of the sauce on top. And that is our dinner for Tuesday night. So today is Wednesday, and for dinner tonight I am making ground beef enchiladas. Whenever I make ground beef enchiladas, I like to make them with flour tortillas. And then when I make chicken enchiladas, I like to use corn tortillas. But definitely you can make these with corn tortillas. Just use whichever tortilla you like. So I have some flour tortillas here. I have my shredded Mexican style cheese. I have ground beef. This is my keto taco seasoning. It's basically just homemade taco seasoning. It has all of the seasonings that you would find in taco seasoning. And then I have some sliced black olives and some red enchilada sauce. So I'm going to start by cooking the meat with the taco seasoning. So I added some enchilada sauce to the bottom of the pan. Then I take my tortilla. Gonna add some meat and some cheese. And just fold it over. Put that in the pan. Okay, so I have all of the enchiladas wrapped up. Now we're gonna pour the sauce on top. And then we're gonna top it with cheese. Okay, and then I'm just gonna bake this in the oven until all of the cheese is melted. So here are the enchiladas right out of the oven. These are still really hot, so I'm gonna let that cool for a little bit. And then I also made some Spanish rice. Well, it's still cooking, but it's almost done. I did not like film the cooking process of the Spanish rice because I was in like a really big hurry, but I have a recipe video, so I'll just leave it linked down below. And then once I have everything plated, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So here's Vanessa's plate. She has 1 enchilada and rice. And I have 2 enchiladas and rice, and I'm actually gonna film a mukbang, so stay tuned for that video. And we're the only ones here right now, so yeah, that's it. So that's our dinner for Wednesday night. Today is Thursday, and for dinner tonight, I am making some pancit. And it's gonna be a very simple one. It's usually how I like to make it, very simple. So here are the noodles. The Excellent brand is the one that I like to get. The rice stick bihon. And then I'll be adding some shredded carrots. And then I bought this coleslaw mix because it's cabbage and carrot already shredded up. So I got that, very easy. And then half of an onion, a couple cloves of garlic. I'm gonna add shrimp this time because I had a little bit left over. So I'm gonna add all of that shrimp. And then I have a box of chicken broth. You can also add other things. If you want green beans, you can add that. Just cut them, you know, small. And then what else can you add? Chinese sausage or even shredded chicken, but I just like to keep it very simple. So I'm starting with the onions. I'm gonna cook this just for a minute or 2, and then I will add the garlic, and then let that saute for a couple more minutes. So I just added the shrimp. If you wanna add the chicken, shredded chicken, or the Chinese sausage, you can add that first and then add the shrimp. So when the shrimp cooks, I'm going to season with a little bit of soy sauce. This is a Filipino brand, but you can use whatever soy sauce you have. Well, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So after the shrimp was cooked, I just added all of the veggies, all of that cabbage, and then I added extra carrots because that bag doesn't really have that much carrots. So I added that. And then I seasoned again. I added a little bit more soy sauce. I added about 1 of these wooden spoons. Well, earlier I added 1, so now 2. And then I also added some freshly ground black pepper. So I'm just gonna let this continue cooking until the vegetables are cooked. Once the veggies are cooked, you will remove everything from the wok and then add the whole box of chicken broth. So for that 1 box of chicken broth, it's the perfect amount for this big package of noodles. This is the 16 ounce. If you're using less noodles, you'll just need to use less chicken broth. Now that the broth is warmed up, I'm going to add in all of the noodles. Now you need to get all of the noodles wet, and you basically are rehydrating the noodles. So I like to do it section at a time. I'll let the bottom absorb some of the liquid, and then I'll flip it over. You can also like spoon it over. So now you can see the noodles are soft, and the noodles absorbed all of the liquid. I'm gonna season this with a little bit more soy sauce, and then I'm gonna add the vegetables back in, and then you're just basically gonna mix it all together, and then make sure you double check the seasoning. I'll also add a little bit more black pepper. All right, you guys, so here's what the pancit looks like. This is really good with lemon. Like if you wanna squeeze some lemon juice on there, it's really good. And yeah, that's my plate. Here's AJ's plate. And we're the only ones here right now, so that's it. That's our dinner for Thursday night. So for Friday's dinner, I made this lasagna. I made it ahead of time. It is actually still Thursday, but I made it today because tomorrow I am leaving for vacation. So the fam is going to have this lasagna for dinner for Friday and most likely for Saturday as well. I didn't film the cooking process, but I do have a recipe video, so I will leave the video linked in the description box if you guys want to see how I made it. And that is actually going to be the end of this week's weekly dinners video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Bye, everyone.